Oh boy. No, I don't know how to get out of this. Escape. Oh my goodness. Hello. We're having some fun. Trying to get around some interesting stuff. Oh, dearie me. So funny. Now, let me get back on track. Basically, that was I made Facebook really, really big, and then I couldn't figure out how to get out of it. And then that's why I was here saying strange shit. So, welcome to Find You Friday / Saturdays on today's Saturday. And we are, what is it, the 28th today. So this makes it the last Find You Fridays of this year of 2024. Gosh, what a freaking year it's been, can I just say. So, how was Christmas? Tell me. What you end up doing, if anything. Oh, that's so good. I had a big, huge, meaty meal when I got home because I had a bit of food left over from my trip away. And so I did a big, huge cook up at lunchtime. And yeah, now I just feel like I've had perhaps too much meat. Can there ever be such a thing? Hi, Juanita. Goodbye 2024. 110 freaking % goodbye. Like, she's been a year. Definitely, for sure. So, Juanita, I'm going to do the weekly reading, and then please stick around because I want to do your reading that you paid for a couple of weeks ago. I'd like to do yours, then I'll do Melinda's, and yeah, we'll end the year with a bang. Melinda went to your son's house in the afternoon for a few hours. Oh, fantastic. I hope that means you got a nice, good, well-deserved sleep in. My getaway was absolutely chef's kiss perfect. So for those of you who didn't know, I decided, well, my body, she listened. I listened to her. She was calling out for a rest and relaxation and detox, like digital detox. And I went camping. I left here on on Wednesday, so Christmas Day, and I came back today. And it was just perfect. It was perfect. It was down this little valley, well away from any traffic or anything. The people who owned the property, because it was on a farm, it was on farmland, but they actually went away to Adelaide for Christmas Day. I think they may have gone away for a couple of days because I didn't see or hear anybody until this morning. So today being Saturday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think they went away for a couple of nights, maybe even 3 nights. I had absolutely zero reception. Zero reception while I was away. So there is some photos and stuff. I do have a little bit of a treat for you guys for Tuesday night. So keep a lookout for that because I actually recorded a beautiful meditation while I was out camping, and it's on video so that you guys can see where I was camping. and you'll hear the birds and you'll hear the bubbling brook, and because there was a beautiful little creek that went through there that was a little bit windy, so you get a bit of wind, you get the earth, you get the sun, you get the birds and the trees, and it was so good. And it was like just absolutely what the doctor ordered, and I am absolutely refreshed, rejuvenated. It was a bit wet this morning, so I had to come home and set up the tents at home under the cover so they could dry out, and then we packed them all up again and then put them away. And yeah, it's just been a very action-packed afternoon, really. But it's just, yes. Perfect. Things to note for next time: take my soft pillow, not my hard one. I have a very soft bed at home, so a firmer pillow at home is perfect. But when I'm camping, I have an air mattress, so I kind of need a soft pillow to go with the air mattress. Apart from that, it was all good. Almost no bugs. I did get bitten by an ant at one stage. But I ran some body processes on it. It was fine. Absolutely fine. I did some work on the I can just sort of show you in passing. So in this big book here, I did actually, and I would recommend any of you do this if you're into like pulling cards for yourself and stuff. Pull one card, ask your team to show you what you require to know. So go truth, what do I require to know for January 2025? And then you shake your card, you shuffle your cards, and then boom, out will come a card. And so I've done that for all of the year. So I pulled one card for every month of the year. I did this a couple of years back, and when I reviewed it, I was like, oh, actually, that was pretty much spot on. So one of the things about this, it does take some time, and it's like I did have to do it in a couple of rounds because it was like there was so much energy going on for me. But you might be more amazing than me and be able to do it all in one go. But what I did was I had the name of the card, and then I sort of read the little blurb, and because I used the Shaman's Dreams card so that I was getting familiar with them too, but also they're the ones that I took them, my 3 new decks with me, and I only played with the Shaman's ones in the end. And so I then got like a little summary of the blurb, put that down, and then I put the extra awarenesses that I was getting from each card as I was going. So it was if my readings are to be believed, it's going to be a fucking interesting year, full of lots of successes and also some very interesting shifts and changes. So watch this space, sort of. Alrighty, so let's have a look and see who wishes to play with us for the weekly reading. Interesting. But yes, there was butterflies, there was all sorts of things. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. And to have the just being able to be so surrounded by Mother Nature was perfect. Like on Wednesday, it was stinking hot and it was sunny and it was windy, and I was setting up the tent in the wind, which out of the 4 times I've now set up the tent, 3 of them have been in the wind. So I'm very familiar with setting up the tent in the wind now. And then it cooled down for Thursday, and then Friday it was a little bit drizzly, and then this morning it was way heaps more rainy, and I was just like, oh, it's like I've seen all the seasons in one day. I went from wearing, very light clothing to having to find my clothes that were like fluffy and warm and jumpers and things on. It was so funny. So funny. All right, so we're going to grab this reading that will go from the 29th of December, being tomorrow, through to the 3rd of January 2025. Whew. 2025, eh? When you were little, did you ever think about one day you'll be in 2025? How can we best work with these energies? Oh, yes, and we've got a new moon on the 31st. Yay. New moon, new me. Juanita says, my deck talks to me. The Druid deck freaked me out. Ha, ha, ha. Yes. Yes. I actually really like it when the things around me talk to me. I think I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually being aware enough to listen. Because so often we ignore it, don't we? We ignore the signs. We ignore the messages. I wrote a poem while I was away. I haven't written any poems for a while. So it's amazing when you take away the digital stuff. And I read some of a book that I've been wanting to read for ages. It's a book that I can only read bits of it at a time because there's lots of processes and things in it. And so it's like you read, say, 3 sections and suddenly you've got 3 different body processes going. And it's like, oof, okay, that's enough for my brains for now. Oh, dear. Oh, moving some energy. Love it. But yes, naturally waking up around 7 o'clock in the morning every single day, with the sunrise and all. It's like, oh. And feeling very much by about 9 o'clock that it's time for bed because it was sunset around 8:30-ish. So yeah, by 9 it was definitely like, I'm ready for bed now, thank you. So that was good. I didn't do a 100% digital detox because I did have a couple of games that I could play offline on my phone. So I will admit, I did still do a little bit of gameplay, but mostly it wasn't. Hi, Christine. Lovely to see you. All right. So we've got the new moon on the 31st. We've got a couple of days before that. So technically, we're actually in shadow period for the new moon now. And this is going through to the 3rd of January. January. All right, let me put that up because I forgot to put that up earlier. So let's see, how are we going for the collective? The first card that we've got is divination, and it says, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So these are the fairy cards, of course. These are by Karen Kay. That's the set here. And I do love her cards because I like it when they've got that little bit of writing at the bottom, so I don't have to necessarily look at the book. But what this tells me is that if you've got stuff up in your world, and of course, December is a really tricky time for a lot of people because they go into a lot of reflection of, what have I done in the last 12 months? And I know that's been a very common conversation with me and my friends over the last couple of weeks. And within our household as well, it's been a conversation that has popped up. And so what have we actually done? And, where are we looking at things going in the future and all that sort of stuff? The divination side of things is, and as I said here, you're able to see with crystal clear clarity. So it's like all of those blinkers that you may have had on earlier in the year have fallen away. And crystal clear clarity can be a little bit unnerving. It can be a little unsettling sometimes, because it's like now you're really, really seeing the truth of everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. So, and with that can come a lot of peace as well, of just knowing exactly where things are at. And then you can make some choices from there. So don't be surprised if there's stuff coming up in your world for this week, and especially because of the new moon. It is about renewal. It is about releasing stuff. You know, there's as all the moons do release, but this is very much a grounding in moon. I'm getting a sense for this year. It's an interesting one. I wonder what the moon book says about the 31st. I don't know if it does say anything about that one, actually. It may not. Nope. No, it just starts in January, so that's fine. We'll be referring to that more later. This next week, we have precious time. So the fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. So given that a lot of people are on holidays and things like that, make use of that time. And also, I'm reminded as I read this, I was talking to someone recently who works in the caring industry, and she's in the previous week had 3 people die. So just be aware. Time is precious. Time with your friends, time with your family, time with, you know, your desires. Like, are you actually living, as they say, your best life? What is it that is required to change over this next 6 to 12 months to give you all the things that you actually truly desire, or at least some of them? Whether that be time with friends and family and all that sort of thing or not. Whether it be something that you wish to create, whether it be a new job or a partner or a money flows or a changing of, you know, freeing yourself up from addictions or whatever it is, your time is precious and you just never know when it might end. So get out there and do the things that you really desire to do. Funnily enough, the next card is motivation. So this is kind of like our teams are kicking us up the butt. It's like, there's no longer time to dilly-dally, my friends. The time is now. Move. When it says, when spring approaches, the flower fairies, oh my Lord, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say, get busy and do it. So I love it, motivation. So the lovely flower fairies, try saying that 5 times fast, flower fairies, are basically saying whatever it is, that thing that you've been putting off or whatever, get to and do it. Get to and do it, because now, again, is the time. And you can see things with crystal clarity. So get to and do it. Be brave. Get out there and just do what you need to do, what you wish to do, okay? Oh, this card's so pretty. I love this card. And that's so funny because, of course, this is sort of leading towards New Year's, all of that sort of thing. We've got celebration. Get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. It's time to go out and dance and play. An invitation could be on its way. So I guess we are no longer hermiting anymore, my friends. We are getting out, we are doing things, we are being with people, being with our friends, being with our family. Just go out and have fun out there over this next week, because again, your time is precious. Make some memories. Get motivated, catch up with people, do the thing. There'll be a lot of people that are off on holidays. Make use of that time. And just, even if it's for a quick cuppa somewhere, just do it. Just do it. All right, let's have a look at our yummy card. Ooh, okay. We got 2 cards came out. This one says healing and this one says kindness. So over this next week, be aware that you're probably doing a lot of healing and releasing. So that's obviously a thing for the new moon. Make sure that you take some time to reflect and release the things that you're holding on to. And you're hauling forward into the new year. Let them go. Let them go if they're not. If this is the one time that you actually do a new moon release, then the new moon is on Tuesday. On Tuesday is the perfect time to do it. The last day of the year. So it's like, can't forget it, because it's the last day of the year is a new moon. So do some release work. Some of the most simple release work that I've done, it was in my previous house, and I literally stood at the back door and I looked up at the sky, and I think it was actually a full moon on that one, but it doesn't matter. And I just said, with all my heart, whatever it is that I am ready to release right now, that will help me to live to my greatest, fullest potential, I release it now to the moon, to Mother Earth, to Father Sky, to Creator, wherever it has to go. I release that energy from my body, freeing it up so that I can receive in totality this life that I choose. Something like that, words to that effect. And then I just said, anything that doesn't allow that, I destroy and uncreate it. And then I just did my clearing statement thingy and just allowed that energy to flow through me and just release out. There was one lady I attended a couple of full moon ceremonies with her, and she actually does howling at the moon, and that was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. And then COVID happened, and the big C, and I actually did it with her online one time. So I was in my backyard, which was 2 houses ago, howling at the moon. I'm sure my neighbors thought I was absolutely wackadoodle, but that's okay. Holly, hello. I have been good, thank you. I've just come back from camping, so I am very, very happy. I am very calm and centered and just loving life. Alrighty. Juanita, my dear, now that we're into our other readings, could you please pop your question in the chat? But yes, I learned a lot in this book that I've been reading, particularly about Buddy. So Buddy's actually, Alex has taken him for a drive. Taken him for a drive to see Grandma, or Alex's mum. And so we won't be having any guest appearances by Buddy this week. So that's nice for us. And I was reading a book. It was about healing and animal communication and stuff. And I learned some stuff about Buddy. And one of the reasons why him and I have had quite the interesting relationship is he can see and acknowledge that I am quite a potent healer. And because of that, he feels like he's in competition with me because in his eyes, it's his job to heal Alex. And basically all the times that he was like barking at me, it was because he's basically saying, you need to get away from him. He's my job. He's my responsibility. You're not allowed to heal him. That's my role. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So I then I did some remote work with Buddy and just said to him, look, do you think maybe you might actually be able to just be Alex's friend and allow Alex to heal himself? Because the thing is, Buddy is essentially pulling a lot of the pain because Alex has chronic pain. He was pulling a lot of, as much as he could stand, out of Alex and holding it in his own body. He wasn't like Buddy wasn't allowing that energy just to flow through like a conduit. And so he's getting more and more and more full of Alex's pain and his whatever else is going on for Alex. And that essentially made Buddy very, very cranky too. And tired, very tired. So I was just like, okay, can you maybe just chill out on that side of things? I also asked him to go back. I also asked him to go back and to a time before he felt like he had to protect and defend either himself or Alex. And it was actually really hard for Buddy because he was the runt of the litter. So from the moment he was born, he was always feeling pushed out, pushed around, denied food, denied the comfort of his mum. So it was like, that was difficult for him to identify a spot where he was actually felt warm and safe and calm. And even though there's been moments of that with Alex, it was like there was still, because of the pain stuff, it's because Alex was already 4 years into his pain stuff by the time Buddy came along. So Buddy doesn't know Alex any other way. And yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting what our animals do for us. Definitely. There was a lot of very, very fascinating stuff going on with him. So I did do quite a good chunk of work for Buddy while I was away, just nice and remotely, because I knew I could do that and he was willing to receive that. So yeah, happy days. And interestingly, today, since I've been home, he hasn't barked at me at all. He's barked at Alex, but he hasn't barked at me. And it's like, interesting. And apparently he'd been barking quite a lot while I was away. So, interesting. Oh dear. All right. Let's see. Right. Let us see what Ines the Gal has to say about this, Juanita. Thank you for an interesting question. see if I can figure out how to word it. Gosh, there's just, after shuffling the shaman dream deck, I'm just like, oh, there's like nothing to this one. First of all, I'm going to pull some cards. That was your team stepping in, by the way. Let's see what your team has to say about this person. See what you require to know about this person. Because, of course, your team knows exactly who you're talking about. I do love that. How was your Christmas, Juanita? How did you go? If you don't mind me asking. And Holly, how was your Christmas? Christine, how was your Christmas? If you did anything at all or nothing at all. Maybe you were like me and just decided to go and have some me time. Which I don't think is a problem at all. Dog on the Goo Drive. Yes. Oh, there's a lot of energy in there, my dear. I can see why it's causing you some ponderings. Aww, yay. The lovely thing for me about being on a digital detox for Christmas is that I didn't see anybody's stuff for Christmas, really. Since I've come back, and because I had all these other things to do, I had washing, I had dishes to do, I had stuff to put away and tents to dry and all that sort of stuff. I think I've had all of about maybe 20 minutes, if that, on Facebook to look around and see what things have been up. But of course, that's like 3 or 4, what is it, 3 days ago now? And it's that whole thing of today's news is tomorrow's fish and chip paper. Very much like that. So it feels a bit funny asking about Christmas now, but it's all good. All right, let me just do a quick little bit of pendulum work as well. Show me the moon. Thank you. Because the bigger question that Juanita had was, is this a past life connection? That's a yes. Truth. Is this a connection to be explored in this lifetime? That's a yes, but it's not as strong a yes. Truth, is it a friendship to be explored in this lifetime? Sort of. See what other questions I can ask. Is this an acknowledgement of some karmic rebalancing that is required to do in this lifetime to free Juanita up? Yeah, that's a yes. Okay. Now let's have a look at these cards. Interesting. 28. Okay. So the first card that you've got is reverse disassociation. And hi, Alex. Hola. And it says, give yourself permission to feel. It can be easy to disassociate from your feelings when the challenges of life become too overwhelming. This can occur when we hold on to suppressed, unacknowledged, painful, or traumatic experiences and allow ourselves to be bombarded by the noises of the world. From watching too much TV, listening to loud music, to engaging with social media. You just need a digital detox, man. Go camping for 4 days. Sorry. When we constantly run from one sensation to another, our nerves become numbed and we begin to feel empty inside. In order to recover your sensitivity and aliveness, you need to slow down, connect to your body, and give yourself permission to feel. You have to realize that as a spiritual being, you need to spend as much time nourishing your soul as you do feeding your physical body. Your spirit is beckoning you to go within, let go of past pain, and transform it into enriching wisdom. So when I pulled these cards, it was asking, what do we require to know about this person in regards to yourself? So from that, I can tell that there has been some pain, there has been traumatic experiences and stuff like that that have happened in a previous lifetime with you two, that are asking to come up to be healed. And that is why this person is popping up into your world. There is still very much a clearing of the decks of energies that are coming through from a collective sense at the moment. That's what this year has been all about. And it's still continuing because there's a lot of work to do. So this is about giving you back your body. This is about giving you back your space to feel, and also to release the stuff that is preventing you from doing that. Okay. And it is to do with that person. All right. We got the next one. Interesting. So this person might be helping you to create this, this next card. And it's interesting because it's like sometimes we just require a little bit of a muse, and it's nothing to actually follow through on. It's a muse moment. So for me, for example, the times that I write the most poetry is actually when I am either very, very, very alone, or there's been like something traumatic pop up in my world, or I'm in a great space of contemplation of which direction to take, or, life is just kind of like up in my world. I don't often write a hell of a lot of poetry when I am blissfully happy. And that's kind of sad, really. But there's my muse, right? So this is what I'm talking about. We've got love your body. Create a new perception of your body. How do you feel about your body? Do you constantly critique it, or do you listen to it and lovingly nourish and cherish it? Any consciously or unconsciously harbored feelings of self-repulsion, rejection, frustration, anger, and guilt will start to weaken various parts of your body. You are being asked to tune in and work on creating a healthy inner environment. What if you could see your physical body as the most incredible, divine, perfectly designed part of you, a place that houses your soul? From that perspective, what food, drink, thoughts, feelings, even relationships would you entertain? When you let go of the painful, traumatic experiences that have caused you to feel unsafe, start to create healthy boundaries, and begin to understand more about your divine nature, your body will become stronger and healthier and more beautiful. Okay? So like I said, just this particular interaction, I get a sense it's your muse to help you feel more alive, and just if you can let go of and do the work on getting rid of that past life stuff, then definitely this person is helping you to feel more connected and alive within your body. They're a muse. I get a sense that they're a muse to you. To help bring out this next card, actually, which is, maybe it's just a friend. I did get, the pendulum did say it was a friendship. Practice positivity. Stop judging and start looking for the good. It's time to focus on everything in your life that is positive. Positivity adjusts your point of view and allows you to see every situation through the lens of optimism. Part of the challenge that this card presents is to encourage you to cease any judgment or harsh behaviors with others, and particularly with yourself. You are being asked to become vigilant not only with what you say, but also with every thought. Each positive thought has the power to heal and uplift, whilst each negative thought can harm and drown you. You will find as you practice positivity, you will attract more positive thoughts, people, and opportunities. You will also start to enjoy your life more, opening up the possibility of activating your intuitive abilities and awakening your spiritual gifts. Over time, no matter the challenge, you will be able to experience life with equanimity and an open heart. So there we go. Encouraging you to feel positive about yourself, about those things around you, it's like, that's a good news to have in your world, I think. This next card is, again, right on point. So remembering our question was, can you please show us what Juanita requires to know about this person and in the interaction with this person? And you got ground yourself. So when I see this card coming out, it's often because we're getting a little bit too airy-fairy. We're getting a little bit too daydreamerish, like, oh, the grass is greener, kind of that sort of thing. So I get the sense that this is part of what is being intuitively, that's what I'm seeing. But let's see what Ina says. It's time for you to learn how to fully incarnate inside your body. The more connected you become with your body, the more insight, strength, and clarity you will experience. If you're used to living inside your head, this process could be initially a little uncomfortable as you become conscious of all the numb, dead, painful, unprocessed areas inside your body. Yet, if you courageously work on becoming fully embodied inside yourself, every aspect of your life will be filled with potency. You will become more present, healthier, deliberate in your actions, and concrete in your life choices. Others will trust you and offer you more auspicious opportunities. You will no longer have to push or force things to happen. You will experience a knowing that the right possibilities are coming to you in the perfect way at precisely the best time. So I'm going to give you the action for this one, because I think this one might be quite useful for not only you, but maybe a couple of others that are watching right now. So the action for grounding yourself is close your eyes and say to yourself, I give myself permission to feel my body and receive deep and profound messages from it. Say, I give myself permission to be fully present in my body. I love my body, and I am grateful for it giving me a chance to experience life. Take slow, deep breaths in between the statements. Move your attention from your head down to your shoulders and into your heart, your digestive system, and your feet. Slowly count to 10 as you raise yourself on your tippy toes, and then slowly bring your feet down and feel the ground. Take a step forward and repeat the exercise 3 to 6 times with the going up onto your tippy toes and then back down again. That feels good. So that's a very interesting question to ask. I'm so glad that we were able to help you to explore that a little bit more and see what else is going on there. I'm just drawn to part of the image of love your body. And I think that you might find that in your past life exploration of what was going on here, there was something to do with children, because this area here, like where she's holding her hand, oh, that might cause me kid to get demonetized. Where she's holding her hand there, it's like pain. That's what I'm seeing in the picture anyway. It's like there's like, oh, there's a loss of a child there, and I'm not sure enough to say how that child was lost, but that's part of the grief and the trauma that has been pulled through. And whatever it was, the fact that you want to see the good in him makes me think that perhaps he had some actions that mean in that other lifetime that you're like, but he didn't mean to. That kind of feel to it, a little bit of almost like the Stockholm syndrome going on from that time through to now, and you've like pulled it through on your energetic cells coming through. So interesting. We've got dream. So I think he's been coming to you in your dreams, huh? If that is the case, you also have the ability to cognitively, subconsciously work through releasing him through your dream state as well, and in turn releasing yourself. So have some fun with that. Oh goodness. Fun. What does Alex have to say? I wonder. Day before yesterday, I had a moment and cried while waiting for my watches to be fixed in the mall. I felt alone, rejected, just in pain. So I know there's a lot more for me to heal myself and towards what happened with JP. Pussy book arrived and I'll be driving to the beach to relax and read it then. I'm doing the mirror exercise now and it's helping a lot. Beautiful of my realizing how much we both hurt each other. Yes, Alex, and yes. Well done. Thank you for being so brave. Before I finish with, we'll continue with Alex. Thank you, Juanita. Thank you for your very super kind donation a couple of weeks ago. I'm really glad we were finally able to tackle you and get your reading done. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart to you for your very kind donation, and because you guys are literally keeping my show running, and because as you know it's a very small group of you and I don't have hundreds or thousands of subscribers yet. You never know what is possible in the future, but for now this is, I just really, really, truly do appreciate your donation as well as everybody else's today. But yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Melinda, my dear. Cool, Alex. Yeah, the attached book is going to help you a lot. It's completely different from the Pussy book, but it will really give you some clarity from a more, a psychological point of view as to why you're choosing what you're choosing. And once you sort of open that door, you'll see with so much more clarity about how to start shifting and changing those energies and those pathways, those pains and pathways for yourself. It's not, I wish I could say one book will fix it all. I have heaps of books over there, and including ones that I just have on Audible that I've listened to over the years that have helped me to shift a lot of toxic behaviors and things, learned behaviors, survival behaviors that I learned as a kid through to, there's so much. Like I was just listening yesterday actually to a book called, and I'm not going to say go out and get it because you'll be drawn to it if you are or not. It's called A Therapeutic Journey by Alain de Botton. And it's lessons from the school of life. And it was so funny. I've listened or watched a podcast with him on it. It was The Diary of a CEO. And I thought, gosh, he's interesting. So I got his book, and so I've started listening to it again. I've been listening to some other sorts of like just breathing space books for a little bit, but I started listening to that one yesterday again, and I was like, yeah. And he mentioned that so much of what we have developed into as adults began when we were children. And that's why we have to do that inner child work. That's why we have to go back and see how it was that we were interacted with as children. And you can have the most kindest, loving family and still have stuff that has like coping mechanisms that have developed because of the type of family that you had. And I thought, gosh, that's so true. Absolutely so true. My family, for example, my mum and dad were very young when they had me. They sort of had their lives thrown into chaos as such, because all of a sudden there's my mum at 18 and she's pregnant, and she wasn't planning on being pregnant right then, and it was only supposed to be a fun night at a party. And and there's my dad. He's just sort of started out in his career as a Navy man, and he's like, all of a sudden he's going to be a dad, and shit, now I've got to be a husband, and oh my god. So I fully can see why when I was growing up, my mum and dad, because they were just not ready for a kid yet, they did the best that they could with the experience, the knowledge, and the time that they had. And they treated me like a little adult. So I didn't get to be a little kid. Not really. I got some toys and stuff, but I grew up in a really different type of world to what the kids these days do. And even my peers, I didn't grow up in the same way that they did. I was out on work sites, and because it was by this stage that, the 80s and OH&S was, health and safety was just not the same as what it is now. And my parents were contractors, and I wasn't playing with the other kids at preschool or anything like that, or kindy or anything. I was out playing with plaster and wood and nails, and it was just a completely different way of being. So my ability to connect with others in social settings was severely hindered because I just didn't have those skills growing up with my peers. I can connect with old people. I can connect with people much older than me very, very easily, because that's how I grew up. That's my formative years until I started developing a mind of my own, at which point my parents divorced or, separated. At that point, it was like, shit, now what do I do? My whole world has changed just at the moment when I'm starting to think for myself. Shit. So, and that, of course, then created a whole new bunch of coping mechanisms. So, and I appreciate you all. So, Alex, you said not everything in a book will help, but some elements will, I believe. Yes. Like being a twin flame journey, not everything I'm following because there are some elements are too much and affected my finances or work. So I had to work around it to get by paying bills, etc. Wounds, trauma, mechanisms from young plays a huge foundational part of our growth. Yes, exactly. And, something I've noticed over the years with finances is when we are not in our correct flow, when we are not listening to ourselves, our heart, when we are not, when we're being too airy-fairy and dreamy land, our finances and by being out there, we're not actually listening to our heart. We're not listening to our pussy. We're not listening to the things, our divine feminine. We're not listening to our divine healing intelligence. And so there is a point of view and a philosophy that money follows joy. So, and I'm not talking about my grandmother, although she's pretty good with money too, to be fair. If you didn't know, my grandmother's name is Joy. But when we are sitting in anguish, when we're sitting in depression or anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt, all those sort of distractor implant stuff, our money flows will go out, and even if they come in for just a little bit, they'll bounce back out again very, very fast. And so you'll always feel like you're behind the 8 ball. And as soon as you make a slight change to go and be within your body, to be back in your flow, to be listening to your heart, listening to your divine feminine, you'll find that the finances will start fixing themselves quite organically. And it's like, well, that's interesting, isn't it? So, yeah. Same. I had hand-me-downs. We were not well off, and we ate home-cooked food once a month. Only if mum and dad had extra, we had noodles or KFC. Our kids now are so lucky these days. Mobile own room, branded stuffs, my fault, etc. When we're not at peace and feeling centered, it'll stop the flow. Correct. Funnily enough, when I was in masculine energy and made loads, and I'm miserable now. So interesting. Were you in your masculine? All right, back to Melinda. Let me see. Who wishes to come and play with Melinda today? like going, I think all of them. Oh dear. Oh, I totally get the whole masculine thing. I really, really do. I learned a lot about the flow of the feminine, and the polarity, the masculine feminine polarity, and just recently, and oh man, I must have a look at part 2 of that too. Hopefully they fix the crackle of their audio. And I tell you, it was bloody good information, and it sort of gave me a big old kick up the butt. Oh, Melinda and your team. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I think your team's just all over, very excited. Very excited. Yes, your team is being funny. Funny. Because they love you. They love you very, very much. Your little joy bar's going off. Aw, that's good. Hi, Edwina. Hopefully you had a nice Christmas. It surprises me that you guys are like tuning in on a Saturday. I'm just like, aw, that's so lovely. I really do appreciate it. Because I definitely required that time away camping. Definitely. What's that from? I can't remember. All right. Let us see what the fairies have to tell you. For this week. Being that you're coming through the new moon, you've got New Year's. I'm sure you've still got plenty happening at work. We've got friendship as your very first card that comes out. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. Are you working tomorrow? So yes, friendship. It is definitely time. Like I said, we're all out of hermit mode now, and well, some people will be going in depending on where they're at, but I do get a sense that this year has been a lot of hermiting for a lot of people, and now it's like, nope, not anymore. So yeah, the friendship side of things is like really up for yourself. I like this one. Music for you for this week. I think it's going to help you shift some energies, especially with working retail. On your way home, particularly, get the tunes out and start singing to some songs that you know. And at the very least, hum Spend some of your days humming, because that will help to release some dopamine into your system. And then from there, that'll actually help your body to relax a little bit more and help you get through your day a bit better. So just music, what does it say on the card? I don't know. I haven't even read it yet. Listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm the fairies to your door. So yes, releasing a lot of that, because being who you are, you're just so freaking aware of people, and there'll be a lot of people that will be coming in, who have been coming in leading up to Christmas, of course, who would be like anxious that they're getting the right thing or whatever. So yeah, just be aware of where your energy's at, and if it's feeling a little bit grab some music, grab some tunes, sing out those 80s tunes or 70s or 60s or whatever is your favorites, favorite sing-alongs. Your inner child work is coming out too as well, to play the fairies of playfulness. Remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Interesting that they put that at the end. So yeah, just get out there and just do that fun stuff. Dance in your kitchen. That's what I'm seeing. Like, just twirl around and dance, and just keep your body limber and flexible and stuff. As you move, you sing, you dance, you'll be able to have a lot more ease throughout this silly season. And you dance like nobody's watching. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. So, yes, when you are when you get your next day off, okay, take some time just to be you, all of you. Just chill, relax. Don't feel like you have to go and see anybody or have anybody at your house or anything like that. Just take some time to breathe, maybe do some quiet meditation stuff, and just recenter, and then you'll be able to keep moving forward. So that's really going to be important for you for your days off this week. And of course, we know that your work has been very transformational for you. So here we go. This is the acknowledgement of everything that you have done over this last 12 months, is all been for the awesomeness of your transformation. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. So I know that this working has been really tough on you in a lot of ways, exhausting emotionally, mentally, but it's been really, really, really good for you too. And sometimes the hardest work we do is the best work we do. And I mean that in all sorts of areas of life. I mean that from a healing perspective. I mean that from a relational perspective. I mean that from a working perspective. There's been, some of the most rewarding things that we can do is as the result of those hardest days or moments or weeks or months. So, and think of all the amazing, beautiful, kind, sometimes a bit wacky people that you're meeting now that you would never have met in your previous role. Like, this is a whole different ball game of people, and I love that for you. You're surrounding yourself with different people, and that's really cool. It's super cool. Now, you'll be able to give me all the best advice on what I should buy in for my next kit for my camping. And just to really cement that one, we've got humor. So this week, keep your humor up, keep making silly jokes, keep cracking the funnies, because people need it, and especially for yourself. Like, just be silly. Seriously, that's basically what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing friendship, music, inner child. Just get out there, be silly, be fun, do the things. And even when you're by yourself, like, you can still be fun and dance and sing and have yourself a little rage party in your kitchen. And perhaps spend some time around that new moon moment, the Tuesday, reflecting and having a lot of gratitude for the progression over this year. I know you do that anyway, but it's like maybe it needs to be written down somewhere or something like that. Yes, people that are happy to spend money. How nice. How nice is that, to have people that would like to spend money? And in a roundabout way, in a weird kind of way, they're actually giving you money for the company. It comes through you, but it's like, how cool is that? I remember when I was doing a lot of different retail things, and I'd get people coming through, and they'd spend all this money, and I'd be like, thank you for paying my wages. Thank you for paying my wages. Thank you for paying my wages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wouldn't always say it out loud, of course. So I'd say it in the head, but it was, and people were like, oh, she's just so happy. And I'm like, yeah, because I like being paid my wages. Thank you. Oh, dear. I will come and see you. All right. So thank you, Melinda. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your support over these last 3 years. And I just I'm so fucking grateful for you, and for everything that you do, everything that you be, and your super duper kind donations, and your ability to tune in on a Friday, even though it will be like you're tired and you've had a big day at work or big week at work. And I'm so grateful for you. So thank you. Mwah. Go have a dance party. All right, so we've got Christine next with her wee question. And then Alex is after that. Okie dokie. Snakes. Probably, but I don't have a problem with snakes. I didn't see any, put it that way. They tend to just stay away. Like in South Australia, our snakes are very shy. They will tend to not be where people are unless they're really, really, really pushed. Then they might sort of end up sort of being in that thing of being in people's backyards or whatever. But that's generally more of a sign of that's that's generally a sign that people have encroached on their space. And very, like, I lived with a snake catcher and educator for 4 years. And of the snakes that he did actually catch, more often than not, they were hot and they were trying to just escape the heat, because snakes don't do well in super hot or super cold. So they come out sort of in the early morning, they'll come out in the late afternoon, but they tend to hide during the day, especially in summer. And then in winter, you don't see them at all because they're in brumation. So they go and sleep mostly. It's very unusual to see a snake in the wintertime. So, like in the spring, obviously they're coming out to try and breed, and then you end up with the little babies that pop out around midsummer, and then they all just kind of go disappear for the winter. So we really only see snakes for maybe 6 months, if that. But yeah, nah, I'm not worried about snakes at all. No, when you've lived in a house with 23 snakes, not much worries you about snakes. So let me have a look at Christine. Okay. I don't know if this is a question I can answer, hun. So she's asking, why did my dad say he is not going to sell the office, which is not under his name? My mum put it under my name, the deed and the taxes which I am paying. Hurricane damaged the roof and Dad did not repair. And she has an additional message here that says, I need to get a permit to do the roof repair after the hurricane, since the deed of the office is in my name and it is my responsibility. So I guess my question to you, Christine, is if your dad is not on the deed, if this is your responsibility, why is it that it's his say whether you sell it or not? And I presume that you have had tenants in there to be able to pay the taxes and all of that sort of stuff. Maybe not with the hurricane that's come through. Obviously, maybe in that case the tenants have moved out and you're having to now cope with the cost of all of the stuff. So I mean, if it's the office is under your name, so why did Dad informing me that he is going to sell it since it is under my name? Hang on. You're giving me two completely different messages, love. So you've got, why did my dad say he is not going to sell the office? And then in addition, then this latest message that you said, why did my dad why my dad informing me that he is going to sell it, as your dad was using the office as his practice. So I guess I need some clarification. Is he trying to lease the office to someone else? Is he actually trying to sell it? Is he aware that the office's deed is under your name? I have too many questions and not enough answers, not enough clarity. So is he trying to... Okay, because if he wishes to pass his lease on to someone else, that's completely different from selling the property. So just so that you all can see what I'm seeing. So why did my dad informing me that he is going to sell it since it's under my name? And then my dad was using the office as his practice. Okay. The leasing should be done under me, not him, since the record legally is under my name. Correct. You're absolutely correct. So from what I can see, you just have to step up, love. You have to tell him, look, no, you can't do that. If I recall, you said your dad's quite old. He's elderly now. And if he obviously is done with his practice, he's like, I'm ready to give that up now, which is cool. That's fine. Like, he's allowed to retire. Is he trying to... I'm not sure what sort of practice he used to do or does do, but is he trying to take his business is he trying to sell his business? So is he trying to, like, his... Okay, so he was a medical doctor. So is he trying to sell the business practice to someone else? Is that what he's trying to do? Or pass the business practice through to someone else? No, he can't. Okay. I'm just sort of thinking about it from a from like different ways of business perspectives, trying to think, okay, maybe he's trying to sell the what do you call it, the loyalty of the patients or whatever through to, when you can there's a term for it, I can't think of it right now, where it's basically the goodwill. There we go. Your business has a certain amount of goodwill that you have developed over the time that you've had the business. And when you sell a business to someone else, you are essentially selling the goodwill. Whether those clients come with you, like with that business or not, is kind of wrapped up into that goodwill. So that's what I was wondering. But you said he can't. Okay, so he retired and the records are in the office in which it is under my responsibility to protect. He given his patients to another practitioner, I'm guessing that means. Why is it your responsibility to protect the records? You are not the doctor. It was not your business. It was your building, but it's not your business. Those records are your father's responsibility, not yours. And I would have thought that a lot of those a lot of those patient records would either have to be shredded or destroyed, permanently destroyed, or passed on to whoever their next practitioner is, their next medical practitioner is. So given that he's retired, like, I'm thinking about that, like from a, when a lawyer retires or dies or anything like that, like their caseload goes to another lawyer. It doesn't just stop in mid-air and just, it absolutely has to move through to the next lawyer. And I imagine, I don't know what the statutes of limitation are, or of legally having to hold information is for you guys. So the question is, should I inform him that he does not own the property because my mum, whom passed away, left it to me? That's a good question. And he should already know that. Unless your mum did a dodgy and didn't tell him. But I mean, he can't argue with legal paperwork. All right. So show me a yes, please. And show me a no. So truth. What will it create if Christine informs her father that he does not own the property that the office is a part of? That's a yes. So yeah, that is definitely a yes. It's going to create more if you have that conversation with him and say, look, Dad, you can't sell the property. You can't sell the office. You can't, that's legally, you're not allowed to. It is, Mum left it to me. It's got my name on the deeds. It's my job. If you're in agreement that it's time to let this property go, if you, Christine, decide it's time to let the property go, cool. There's nothing to argue about. But if you've decided that you really want to hang on to it for whatever reason, then yes, you need to have that conversation with your dad to say, hey, no, you can't sell it. It's not, you're legally not allowed to. It's my property. And even to lease it to someone else so that, just let him get out of the lease. Just, yeah. Because he obviously at 84 is just I'm free. He wants to free himself up quite clearly. And he thinks he has to be the one responsible to do that. And you can go, no, Mum already took care of that. Okay. So yeah, I would definitely have that conversation with him. And okay, so he is not under a lease because it was my mum and him, mum, who built the practice. Okay. She must have been a very smart lady. So cool. He may have in his older years forgotten that your mum has already signed it over to you. So I would go armed with the paperwork. I'd go armed with the deed and say, look, Dad, I understand that you're trying to sell the property, but it is not actually yours to sell. Here's the paperwork to prove it. And we can have a discussion as to whether you think it's time to sell it, sure, but it's me who will make that final decision, not you. So thank you, and I love you. And now you don't have to worry. Like, you deal with your paperwork and all that sort of stuff. The shutting down of shop sort of thing. Like, sure, definitely have them on board through all of that. But yeah, it sounds like this is a bit of a thorn in the side for you all, and it's time to let it go. But it's up to you guys. Totally up to you guys. All right. Thank you for your donation, Christine. I so appreciate it. And I'm glad we were able to finally get some clarity on what you were asking. And a beautiful Alex, it is now your turn. I have to go pick up your question. I love it. Oh dear. So Alex, so no judgment. My daughter has been away since the 22nd, so I've been enjoying my peace and quiet and shower really, really, really late. I love it. I love that. Yes, indeed, Alex. It is a bit like that sometimes. There's always something interesting. Always something interesting going on. Lovely. All right. Alex. All righty. Actually. Alex has asked for, or Alex's team has asked for the Shaman's Dream Oracle. So initially they were going to go for the Heal Yourself ones by Ina, but then they changed their mind. So you'll have to just bear with me because there's much larger amount of cards that I have to shuffle. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? See, this is the difference. So it takes me a little bit longer to get my fingers and hands wrapped around that one. Dear, oh dear. All right, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I know you guys love it when I do, but I didn't say it. You know, something that is coming up as I'm shuffling these cards for you is there's a sense of, and I think this week's energies, especially with this new moon, is really going to help you, Alex, to clarify for yourself where things are at, from within. It's nothing that he is going to say or do that will help you. It's going to be something that's just going to like go click in your head. And it might be from the books, it might be from a song, it might be from something you see online or whatever. But right now, your team is saying that you're not listening. They're very loud in my ear, and they're saying, look, she's just not listening. We're trying to tell her in all sorts of different ways, but she's not picking it up. She's not picking up what we're putting down. And they're really trying to be very, very clear with you. And it's like, they just, at the end of the day, they just wish to see you happy. They really do. And it's not sitting well with them that you're so unhappy right now, and you're putting the person that you have to put your hopes on is you. It's not on another person. I hope that makes sense. And it's not that that they're saying that you have to be single. It's that there's something that you're searching, but you have to find it within you first. And that's the thing that you're you have to do that healing work of you. And that's what they're saying. You know, it's tough. It's a tough one. And sometimes we can heal those aspects of self within a relationship. Sometimes you can. And sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just can't. And now I'm getting like all up through here is going. So like joy, sadness, joy, sadness, joy, sadness. There's a lot of high emotions going on with you right now. Maybe creating a lot of headaches for you. Like literal headaches. Not just financial ones. And it's like, I think you said earlier, like you sat down and cried and stuff like that. It's like, yeah. Let me just see what this last one is. Interesting. I think this is actually the first card. They've done it in reverse order. Your team's funny. All right. So let me read this one for you first. It is skywriting, and it's the fates. The fates that we cannot change, non-judgment. It is written in the sky that you have a destiny. You are being invited to explore certain aspects of life unique to you and you alone. That does not mean that your path will be easy, paved with gold and littered with diamonds, nor does this predict that your journey will be treacherous. It's just your path, with parts that cannot be changed and must be radically accepted as they are. In this way, whatever you are faced with, every single aspect of your life is perfection in its imperfection. Not good or bad, neither inflow nor blocked, this nor that. See your life as a series of opportunities rather than an obstacle course. Once you master the skill of non-judgment, you open to the power of curiosity, unencumbered by the burdens of yesterday's fear, as you look ahead to the potential of the future. Yes, you still require to be brave. Right now, you are facing a critical moment in time with an opportunity to meet your fate, a choice point where you expand your influence and your capacity for abundance, love, and purposeful action. Now is the moment to leap into it, whether it be a heart connection, a call to creativity, or a new identity in your work and other area of your life. With all your heart and soul, your success is surely written in the stars. In order to bring your destiny to fruition, you must jump into the adventure with both feet and do your part. So what I was getting as I was reading this was, there's a lovely little saying of people come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And there are times when the reason and the season is just done. And when it's a lifetime thing, they will fight for you as much as you will fight for them. If it is one-sided, it is not a lifetime connection. And so that's where it's like, there's no judgment here. It's just, you cannot change what has already been fated. So the other parts of that were really standing out to me is you are being invited to explore certain aspects of life to you and you alone. It's like, what if you actually stopped thinking about Jean-Pierre? What if you let that go for just a week? Just a week. Just let it go out of your mind. And have a look at what is your life if you're not constantly thinking about him. What is your world if you're, where does your business flow go? Where is your money flows at? Like, just take note. Do a little experiment with yourself for a week, just 1 week, and see how things change or progress or expand for you. Like, just for 1 week, take them off all of your social medias, just for 1 week. Put them onto restricted list or whatever you need to do to just so you don't fucking look, because there's an obsession here. And this next card is also to do with that. And the more that we obsess about someone, and I'm guilty of this too in my life, believe me, I get it. But the more we obsess, the less we are connected to ourselves. And we've got the lost compass. So getting back to integrity, finding the way home, and trusting intuition. When the lost compass appears, it is a sign that you require to find your way back home, back to your source and center, relying on your intuition to arrive there. Be wary of the signs telling you to turn here or there, or to avoid this or that person or situation, because the outward indicators are not reliable right now. Be careful not to believe all the advice you are receiving, and that's very true. Rely instead on your innate sense of direction and guidance, and use your homing instinct to lead you true. The lost compass has come to show you that you need to find new counselors. You are not getting the mentoring you need for your success. Who is that person you are looking up to as a model for what it means to be a woman or a man? Trash that ideal. Tear up the picture you carry in your mind. You are meant to be you and not the best copy of your dearest friend. Make this your mantra. Love me or leave me. The lost compass is a blessing in disguise, because you sometimes have to lose your bearings to find yourself afresh, to discover a new course. True north never changes, so reset your way to your heart compass. Trust your deepest feelings even when others do not support them. Remember that you are not lost. You simply do not know where you're going right now. Lost is a state of mind. Not knowing where you are going is an opportunity to find a way to a new path. So there we go. We've got the lost compass. This next card is a really interesting one because this is a card that I've come to recognize as one. It's like it can look a little bit scary, I suppose, but it's actually a card of encouraging you to be brave, have the courage to just step forward, because we have perfect storm. And it says the courage to step into life. It's an invitation to act now and sheltering from turbulence. So when the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent, time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be. Hence the reason for the lost compass, right? You've got to come back to you, come back to what you know is true for you. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness to the forces build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around and recognize how little of it you truly require. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things that we are most attached to that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us of our righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you will be. Ride the winds to your next destination. Embrace the rain and snow. And remember, every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you require to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem. Here, time is of the essence. It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew. Take the storm on and all its terrifying greatness, and experiencing the fullness of life, you will succeed. So great that you've blocked him everywhere. So if that's the case, why are you still obsessing? It's time to let it go, love. It's time to let the storm just take away that stuff that you no longer require. Tuesday night, new moon, write down on a piece of paper all of the pros and the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, of everything to do with him. Everything. And then burn it. Release it to do whatever clearing works for you, okay? Whether that be a request to Mother Nature, whether it be a request to the Creator, whether it be to your spirit team, your guides, to the angels, to whatever you require, whoever you require to let it go to, but freaking burn it. It's time for you to just release the stuff out of your system. It's not serving you. And once you have, like, basically you've got to pull on your big girl panties and just do this shit for yourself. You've got to release that. He's there's something going on here that is not allowing you to move on. It's not healthy for you. It's fucking up your cells. It's fucking up your monetary flows. It's messing up your relationship to you. It's time for you to go, I've had enough. I've had enough of my own head. All right. Now, if you do that, this next card is going to be a lot easier for you to work with. Okay. This is the Netcaster. I don't know how to see her, but there we go. Sort of, you can see her. So the Netcaster, she's very cool. So preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectations. The Netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish. They have arrived. It's time that you cast your net, lest they swim away. Everything that you long for is within reach, but it has been so long since your prayers were answered that you've forgotten how to receive what is being offered to you. Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. In other words, there's a lovely little saying of, there's plenty more fish in the sea, darling. Take the next step you have been planning for so long. Remember that the fish wait for no one, so time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of the moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? You will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. The Netcaster can also arrive to bring you some bad news, to tell you that you have been snared in someone's trap and must wriggle free. This is very relevant for you right now. Both sides of this card are actually very relevant for you. Right now, it feels comfortable enough even as the net begins to tighten around you. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before you realize you must escape and run for your life. It is still early enough to exit gracefully. Bide your time until the conditions are right. Go to your place of stillness, of deep quiet, and watch for the signs that a new opportunity has arrived. Right now, you are patient because you feel things will go your way. Learn to be patient with the people and situations that are more challenging. So, this is a very interesting card for you. It is saying, like, this whole reading, it's all giving you the indications of what you require to know. Let him go. Out of your brains. Let him go out of that obsessive space in your mind. Because there is somebody really lovely just waiting for you. But that person can't come to you. They will swim on by if you are constantly looking at this other thing. Okay, so that's a really lovely reading for you, actually. It's like I said, your team is telling you very, very crystal clear, like it's time to come back to you, time to be within your heart, be within your intuition, be within your feminine flow. Because the thing is, if you're obsessing, you're not in your feminine flow. Okay. Things are going the wrong way. It's not a case of being in masculine or feminine. It's actually, in this case, it's whether your feminine is, the polarity of your feminine flow is inverted or not. Okay. It's a really, really different way of looking at stuff. It's time to respect yourself. It says literally on there, respect. See? Respect. It's time to respect yourself. Love yourself, respect yourself, and do what you're required to do for you to make you happy. Be you. Be bold, be brave, be you. Pull on your big girl panties and just get going. In your life, doing your life your way. All right? Trust me on this one. It's scary, I know. But it's time. Thank you for your kind donation. I really do appreciate it. And I really hope that 2025 brings you an amazing year with a brand new love in your life and somebody who treats you properly, like treats you like you deserve to be, like just with love and gratitude and respect, and gives you loads of beautiful hugs and cuddles and sexy times and just it's just lovely for you and helps you to relax and helps you to soften into the correct flow of your feminine, your divine feminine energy. And remember, to be able to receive that, you have to be giving the right foundation for that. So thank you, Alex. I adore you. Thank you. And I appreciate you so much. Do some release work on Tuesday, okay? Please. Please, please, please do some cord cutting. Do the thing. All right. Be brave, my dear. Be really brave and do this for you. Make that demand of yourself, because the only person that can do this for you is you. Like, you can have help from other healers, guidance, mentors, your team, whatever. But at the end of the day, the only person who can actually do the work for you is you. And that's tough, man. Seriously, I get it. It's a fuck ton easier just to obsess over someone else. But it doesn't help you. It really doesn't. Oh yes, be brutally honest with yourself. Write that frickin' list and burn it. Release. And as you're burning it, imagine all of the cords, the ties, the hooks, all the blech is also going up in flames with it. All right. Because it is the final one for the year, we're going to do our poetry book. Apparently there's only a few of you here, so we'll do a quick expanding out and then we will read our poem, okay? So take a big deep breath in and out. Take a big deep breath in, bringing the energy of Mother Earth all the way up through your body. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth in the unconditional love all the way up. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And now expanding out your awareness. And a lovely big bubble up into the sky, down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness. Out beyond the size of the building that you're in. Out beyond the size of the country that you're on. Expanding out your awareness greater than the planet. Greater than the solar system. Expanding out your awareness greater than the galaxies. And now expanding out your awareness greater than the universes. Beautiful. Keep your awareness nice and expanded out. Focus on your body once more and grab your sense of allowance and expand that out into a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Remembering that as you expand out your sense of allowance, you go from being a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you get to become like a big old fluffy cloud, just floating around along, where you get to see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions and see it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. And you can choose to respond to it or not. You are no longer resisting and reacting. And you can see with absolute total clarity what is required for your next steps. So now expanding out your allowance up into the sky, down into the earth in a big, big sphere. Expanding out your allowance greater than the country that you're on. Greater than the planet. Expanding out your allowance greater than the solar system. Greater than the galaxies. Expanding out your allowance beyond the universes. And now beyond your awareness. Take a big, deep, deep breath in and watch how your body relaxes. And as you breathe out, just letting any tension that is in your bones and your muscles just to leach out. And in this beautiful moment right now, we're nice and connected with Mother Earth and Father Sky and each other. What number between and including 1 and 88 truth is going to create the most for you over this next week? I'll ask it once more. So truth, what number between and including 1 and 88 will create the most for you over this next week? Please put it in the chat now. Melinda chose 32. For you, the sun will shine again and you will laugh again. I know it's hard and that the world seems to be against you. I am your friend and I will stand by you, listen to you, offer your advice, maybe not so much advice, but listen to you and love you. We are so very far apart, but I am thinking of you and all of the good times. So keep smiling, even when things are bad. Gather your friends around you. If they won't think to hug you, hug them. Just remember, I'm only a phone call away. You are my dearest friend and my most understanding one, and I return that for you and more. Please remember, use my shoulder if you ever need to. I'm going to read this little bit underneath. It's been a long time since I've read this one, actually. At a time when I had best friends, I no longer do that. However, this was a poem written very much from the place I wish I had been able to have been told just a year before. I didn't have those people around me that would hug me for no reason, and my best friend didn't really know at that time I was struggling so bad, as I didn't wish to make her worry being so far away. So those words for her were really the words for me in retrospect. So, Melinda, given that I was drawn to read that last little piece, there's possibly someone in your world that you're aware of that is maybe going through a bit of a rough time. And also just know that even if you felt like that it's okay just to have those people in your world that you just go up and hug them for no fucking good reason. They don't have to know why. They don't have to know that you're having a bit of a rough one, that, you know, things are maybe not going so well with some members of the family or whatever. It's just like, just grab a hug. And again, the friends thing has popped up in your reading. So perhaps there is someone out there who is wishing to connect with you. And that might be, and also you might be wishing to connect with your friends. Like, you've probably been working so fucking much, you feel like you've lost your connection with your friends circle a little bit. But it's also this silly time of year. So reach out, okay? Reach out to them and just do a little welfare check, if you like, a friend check. Hey, how's things going? What's up? Been thinking about you. So if there's anybody in particular that you've been thinking about, definitely get onto that. Give them a little nudge. Seeing as nobody else has put a number up, I'll tell you mine. So I chose 53, which is keep. Keep your gorgeous smile shining and your wonderful eyes bright. Keep your arms ready and your heart open. Keep your mind receptive and your soul peaceful. So this was actually written on my birthday, on my 21st birthday, no less. And it says, a birthday poem to me, from me, about me. A gentle reminder to be me and never to become hard or bitter no matter what happens. Happy 21st to me. That weekend, I lost my best friend, which was what Melinda just had just before. That my family paid a surprise visit. I announced our engagement to my first husband, and we all know how that worked out. And a letter from my father sent me into shock and off to counselling. And in that week also, my push bike got stolen. What an interesting week that was. And I never got it replaced either, my push bike. So, safe to say, there's a lot of shit up in my world right now. But tonight has been an absolute pleasure to be with you all. We're going to step into our meditation in just a moment. But before you all float away and just, you know, go off and start thinking about what you're going to do on your meditation, on your releasing on Tuesday, I would like to encourage you to be on the lookout. There'll be a meditation that I did from camping And I'll release that on Tuesday night, so on New Year's Eve. And it'll probably be around that 8 o'clock time that will happen. Just to give you a little bit of yumminess from camping. And I'll be back next week at normal scheduled time of Fridays, as far as I know at this stage. So same bat time, same bat place next week. Be kind to yourselves over this week coming, okay? There's a lot of energy still up at the moment, and a lot of people walking around with a lot of hurt hearts, and whether they be from all sorts of family stuff, whether they've had family around them or not. There was a lady who's a carer, and she said, I don't do Christmas at all. I've had people invite me over, but I just know that I'm going to be such a dreary person to be around. I don't want to inflict that on anybody else. So I'd rather just stay home and be miserable at home. So be aware, there's people like that are out there at the moment. There's a lot of very funky energy that comes up around this time of year. So I'm very aware of that, and I'm grateful that I've had some time to myself to be fair. I wasn't dull and dreary or miserable. I tell you what, I had such a great time sitting there watching the butterflies and stuff across the tips of the grasses, and it was just so beautiful, so beautiful. So let us have a look at our meditation for tonight. We're already nice and expanded out, so thank you for coming along on that one with me. So let's close our eyes and let's take a nice big deep breath in, seeing where our collective energies would like to go. Okay, cool. All right. So I'd like you to imagine now that you're floating. You're floating up way, way, way above the planet. And as you're floating above the planet, you become aware of all the other beings that are a part of the collective. You become aware of all those beings, whether they be in solid form or in spirit form, whether they be from different dimensions, that are all keeping an eye on us and helping to guide us and give us that little bit of structure that we require to be able to not blow up the planet, to keep it running smoothly. And as you become aware of all the other beings, and there are millions and millions of them surrounding, if not billions, surrounding the planet all the way around, like a big, big spider web, a net, if you like, a net of possibilities. And as you become aware of them all, you see that you're all linked up with golden threads of honor and trust and vulnerability and gratitude and allowance. And all those little threads are humming along like information highways, coming out of your fingers and out of your toes, out of the top of your head, and out your base chakra, just joining along with everything and everyone. And you can feel that information now moving through your body, where you can pick up on whichever bits are relevant to you, and everything else just keeps moving. And now as you look down on the planet, and you can see the pain, you can see the hurt, and you can see the suffering. You can also see the joyousness, the laughter, the deliciousness, the sensual fun, the music, the creation, the bright ideas when they pop up. You see the love between family members or animals, humans to animals, animals to humans. You see the kind deeds that people do for total and utter strangers, and it warms your heart. You also see the other side, the sadness, the anger. And in this moment, I'd like you all to join me to bringing the unconditional love from the universe that is thrumming through your body right now, because you are indeed part of the collective, along with your spirit team, along with everybody else. And now I'd like you to imagine that you are sending big streams of unconditional love, which is all around you right now. It's moving through every single one of you, through those threads of honor, trust, gratitude, vulnerability, and allowance. Streaming that unconditional love, which is from the universe, coming through you, through your heart, out, down into the planet, into our beautiful Mother Earth, and spread it out so that it is then touching all the people who require to feel some unconditional love. Of course, they can always refuse it. But if they do refuse it, just shower them around them so they can pick it up when they're ready. Fill up their rooms, their cars, wherever they are. Surround them with the unconditional love so that they know and can feel it and experience it for themselves. You may like to imagine that this is bright white opalescent light just shining out your heart like a big old Care Bear coming down into the beautiful earth. And as it touches the earth itself, Mother Earth celebrates with you, and she gets very excited because you're contributing to Mother Earth too. And in her excitement, she adds to the unconditional love which you are sharing with her. And she then allows that beautiful Mother Earth and the unconditional love to move up through the feet of every single person who is willing to receive that right now, including you. Just let that continue on and explore a little bit. See what it feels like when your unconditional love light hits the forests or the desert, or the oceans, or the lakes, or the mountains, or the rivers. Just take a lovely, lovely, lovely big deep breath in and breathing out. And now, as you allow the collective to just step into the background for you, still very aware that you are absolutely still consciously connected to the collective, you bring that information with you back through to your body, where you will now be able to access that information whenever you desire. It may sprinkle through in the next few days or weeks, but it'll be there. It may come through to you in your dream state, so take notice. You've absorbed a lot of information very, very quickly. And now it's time to ground yourself. So we'll take a lovely big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine that you're standing underneath a big, beautiful crystalline waterfall. And as the water flows over and through your body, you feel your heart humming open and full and with all the deliciousness you could possibly imagine. You really, really feel that water moving through your body. And now stepping out onto the big, warm river rock. You feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. Once again, taking a nice, big, deep breath in, but bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And as you breathe out, bring Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And for those of you who are now heading off to Dreamland for the night, just know that you are surrounded with love, unconditional love of not only Creator and Mother Earth and Father Sky, but the entire collective. And that includes yourself. And for those of you who are going off on your day-to-day, please know that as well for you. And walk a little lighter, step a little more carefully, and enjoy just being you. And knowing with a secret little smile that you've just helped to gift to every single living being and plant, animal, critter, person on this entire planet some unconditional love, so that you and them can bring in this new year from a space of enjoyment, of consciousness, of 5D realm thinking. Take a big deep breath in and breathing out. And when you open your eyes, please have a drink of water, and I'll see you next week. Until then, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself. Be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.